So looking ahead, tomorrow you'll have a formative. We'll have some whiteboard practice before we take the formative, and then you'll have the formative. Thursday, we're going to start reviewing with a sorting activity. Friday, we're going to do another kind of activity involving exponents and walking the dog and all that fun stuff. Monday is going to be a review. Tuesday is your test on exponents. Okay? So test on Tuesday for exponents. Okay? I think I've given everything back that I have from people. During work time today, I'll bring a pass. Go get one. Go get one. It's 04. You should know. Okay. I will get out grade reports today during work time. So, okay. There's your 4 warm-ups to do on the side of the back of K4. Okay, so find a space along the side and leave that bottom area open because we're going to fill in those notes today. So warm up with these 4 problems. Start real quick. What do you got for the first one? What's the base? X. Okay. How many of them are there? Total. 5, right? Okay. So that would be x to the 5th power. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Again, if you didn't see, we had 2 options here. So from our property from a couple of days ago, we could add the exponents to get that because it's the same base. We add the exponents. The other way we could do it is we could write it out. We write it out in multiple colors. So there's x cubed. There's x squared, and there's 5 of them for us. Okay? Alright, love it? Yeah, what did you get for the second one? X to the 6th power. Yep, exactly. X to the 6th power for that one. That property would be, because it's a layer, we've got powers to powers, that property we're going to multiply those 2 together. Okay? Or if we wrote it out, we could write it out as x squared times x squared times x squared, and then it would be x times x, x times x, and that would give us our 6. Okay. Kyle, what did you get for the third one? So just x? Or do you mean x to the 1st power? X to the 1st power, okay? Right? Which would just be x, right? Yep, exactly. That's just going to be x. Okay? This property was yesterday. So we could either, we could subtract the exponents, top minus bottom, get us 1 that way. Or we could write it out and then cross it out. There's those cancel each other out, those cancel each other out, leaving me just with x on the top. Okay. Follow up to that one. What if we would have flipped that around? What if we would have had x squared over x cubed? What if we would have had x squared over x cubed? What would our answer look like then? Ooh, that's what I'm saying. I won't put you on the spot. What do you mean negative? How do I get it? If I'm dividing fractions, if I'm dividing 2 numbers, because really x squared is a number, right? We just don't know what the number is, so we call it x. If If I'm dividing two numbers and I get a negative, doesn't one of them have to be negative? No? Doesn't one of them? Because a negative divided by negative is a positive divided by positive is a positive. Okay, so it can't be negative. Okay? So that's not, unless you can give me more of what a negative, what you mean by negative. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, what else? What other thoughts do we have? When in doubt, what can we always do? We can look back. Well, we haven't really seen one like this before, so we can't really look back. So when in doubt, we can always, been saying it all week long. When in doubt, not pound it out. When in doubt, something it out. Sorry. When in doubt, write it out. Okay? When in doubt, write it out. So how are we going to write that one out? X squared over x cubed. How would we write that out? Bryce, you can handle this one. How would you write out x squared? So x times x? Okay, love it. Natalia, how would you write out x cubed? What? How would you write out x cubed? Yep, 3 times. Okay? Jesus, up above, what do we do when we had x's on top and x's on the bottom? Cancel them out, right? Can I do that here? Yeah, right? Nothing's changed so far, right? We've done everything the same so far. Okay? So I can cancel this one out, right? Right? I can cancel this one out, right? Yeah? Okay? Okay? So what's left over? 1, 1. What's the only thing that's not crossed out? Down there. What's the only thing that's not crossed out? What's the only thing that's not crossed out? This is crossed out, right? This is crossed out, right? So what's the only thing that's not crossed out? What's the only thing that's not crossed out? X. Where is X? On the bottom. So X has to stay on the bottom, right? Because that's where it's not crossed out. Okay? So this one would be, then, we would have an X on the bottom. But that's not a complete fraction, right, Is? It's not a complete fraction, okay? So what are we going to put on top to fill it in? A 1. Yep, exactly. A 1. Yeah. Now we're going to put a 1 there. Okay? So we have 1 over x for that problem. If we flip that over, then we got to flip over our answer. Okay? All right? It goes the same if we were dealing with, like, let's say 1/3. Oops, no, can't do that one yet. Got the break. Getting ahead of myself. Pick that one in a minute. Okay. Getting ahead of myself. I wanted to do 1/3. Okay. You're out. X squared to the 0 power. What do you got for it? Okay. To the 0 power. Okay. So what did you get for an answer? Nope. Back in your notes. Trust me, it's in there. Anybody? What do we got for an answer here in this one? It was a property yesterday. No. Look back in your notes. Literally turn one page over and it's right there because it was yesterday. What do you got, Chloe? No. Look back in your notes. What do you got? So what's our answer? 1. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Yes, this is 1. Because anything to the 0 power, we learned this yesterday, is 1. No matter what. Okay? It could be a triangle to the 0 power. Still is 1. Okay? It could be a dinosaur to the 0 power. Still is 1. Okay? Anything to the 0 power. Any number, any letter, any combination to the 0 power is always going to be 1. Okay? No matter what. You don't have to do anything. You see anything to the 0 power, and whatever that power is controlling, that's 1 in multiplication. That goes by. Yes? All right? Now, we're at the bottom of yesterday's notes. We didn't finish those off. Okay? So we want to simplify this one now. Okay? So now we've got a fraction to a power. Okay? We've got a fraction to a power. Okay? So that's going to be, what's going to happen here is this fraction is going to take control of the top. So we've got on the top, we've got a squared squared. Then this fraction is going to take control of the bottom because it's controlling that entire fraction. So it's controlling the top and it's controlling the bottom. So then the bottom would be b cubed squared. Okay? All right? With me? So now we can expand the top. What does the top expand out to be? Or what, I shouldn't say that. What does the top just flat out simplify to be? Eric, we're up to you. A to the 4th power? Yep, exactly. So then this becomes a to the 4th power. And then what does the bottom expand out to be? If you got 3 b's, and then you got 3 more b's, how many b's you got? 6. So we're b to the 6th power? B to the 6th power. Yupper. Right? Now, my question to you is this. Can I cancel everything out? I've got a to the 6th power, or excuse me, a to the 4th power, which means that a times a times a times a. Right? And I got b to the 6th power, which is b times b times b times b times b times b. Anything cancel out. What in order to cancel out, what's got what? They gotta have the same base, or they gotta be the same, right? So is A the same as B? No. So does anything cancel out? Nope. So then that is our final answer right there. Okay? So in a fraction that's to a power, we call it the power of a quotient. Okay? How did I say it yesterday? Take the power to the top and to the bottom. Okay, that's how I was going to say it again today. So if we've got a fraction to a power. You're going to apply the power to both the top and the bottom. So you're going to apply it to both the numerator and to the denominator. Okay? So, in number 9, we've got 3 over x squared, and that is all being taken to the third power. So I've got to apply the power. My power is outside 3. That 3 needs to be applied to the top. So that's going to become 3 to the third power. That power needs to be applied to the bottom. So that means that's going to be x squared to the third power. Okay? This, by the way, on top, 3 to the third power, what does that mean to you? 3 times 3 times 3, do you know what 3 times 3 times 3 is? 9 is 3 times 3, right? And then times another 3 would be 27. Exactly. So this is going to be 3 times 3 times 3, which we said is 27, okay, over what's x squared to the third power. X squared times x squared times x squared, which would be how many total x's? 6. So it would be x to the 6th power. Gibson, can I cancel anything out in this step? Nope, because these are 3's and those are x's and those aren't the same. Yep. So then that's going to be my answer. You try number 10, and I'm going to add you a number 11. One-third squared. You try 10 and the new 11. A couple of different layers on this number 10 here going on. So this is going to be 6a all to the third power. And this is going to be b squared all to the third power. Okay? So on top then, you would get 6 to the third power, and you get a to the third power, and then on the bottom, you would still have b squared to the third power. Because you gotta, that was a property. Power of a product property from last week. Okay? So you get 6 cubed is 216. A cubed is a cubed. B to the 6th power, or excuse me, and then b to the 6th power on the bottom. Because b squared, then cubed, is b squared times b squared times b squared, which is b to the 6th power. So you get that. If it's just straight up numbers, it's done the exact same way. So this is 1 squared over 3 squared. 1 squared is 1 times 1, which is 1. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. 1 9. Okay. So I just handed out to my grading students, I just handed out your grade reports of everything that you could possibly still turn in. Just remember that all of the stuff on that sheet is due by Tuesday. Plus, on top of that, you're going to have more stuff coming up this week.